pick up where we left off with AB de Villiers, of course, dominating with the other South Africans in the IPL, but also collaborating with Garand, Zoid and the Ndlovu Youth Choir on The Flame, an incredible project. So good to be connecting once again with AB de Villiers. I think you would know from a sporting perspective how tough this year has been, but for every South African, this has been one of the most challenging years I think any of us have had to face. So thank you so much for being a part of spreading that message of hope. I think so many people need something to cling to and need to see that silver lining, but take nothing away from how you were able to pull this off. So you've been obviously participating in the IPL for a few months now. When did you have time to record the actual song and the music video? And how did you organize the cameo appearances? I mean, Virat, Dale, Shahal, there are a couple of Chris Morris's appeared, Unwritten Nokia's in there, KG. How did you pull all of that off?
You're right. It's been a funny year indeed, and I think it's important this year sort of to take on board that you almost got to force yourself to try and see the glass half full instead of half empty. It's an attitude that we need desperately, especially in South Africa with all our obstacles. It wasn't part of the plan to record it before I left for the IPL. It happened really late, literally the day before I flew over to Dubai. Garand did some magic back home in Cape Town. I think the choir recorded in Polokwane, if I'm not mistaken. So very disjointed, and I mean, we wouldn't want it any other way with this year. With the COVID year, a lot of things has been a challenge, and we found a way to get the recording done. And once I got here, we started chatting about a possible music video, literally. So I took my iPhone, I had a little tripod here that I used from my camera guy, and I got the boys once again out of their comfort zones. And that's the beauty of this funny year that we've had, is people have been willing to get out of their comfort zones to try and make a difference, trying to get a message of hope out there, not only to South Africa, but whoever wants to listen to it. I think that's the idea of really just sort of challenging yourself in trying to be a positive person instead of looking at all the negatives, and that's what we need.
Has this planted a seed? I mean, talk about pressure. I think there are a list of artists as long as my arm who would want to collaborate and work under, be mentored by Garand, Zoid. What was that process, the musical process, like working with her? Was it massive pressure? How did you stand up to that?
Incredible. I've done an album before, so I sort of knew the ins and outs of what it takes to go into a studio, to really just let loose of your fears and not worry too much about what you sound like or what you look like. So it's certainly out of my comfort zone, but the process of working with Garand, I mean, so she's so professional, definitely got this magic touch with regards to music and a feel for what's required in a song and where it needs to go and the kind of messaging that you want to get out there. So it was quite easy to work with her. She's a very instinctive person. She trusts her gut, and more often than not, it's right. We wrote quite a few other songs in those 2 days as well, which would hopefully come out in the future at some stage. And I mean, if this song goes well, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't get together again and do some more stuff.
I've got to ask, because I mean, you're 36 years young at the moment, and we know you'll probably play cricket until you absolutely can't anymore. But any cricket fan within the sphere of cricket and without have looked at your unbelievable form and just how good you are, and we want you to be in the center of that fold for as long as possible. I know you say you're living from moment to moment. What are the future plans? Where is your head at right now with regards to cricket?
I really do. You hit the nail on the head, and it's very difficult for me to tell you what's going to happen in 6 months' time at the moment. As you alluded to before, I've got a little one coming in November now, well, literally in a week's time. That's my main focus for now. There's a couple of tournaments that I already turned down, the Big Bash in December, Jan. There's also a T10 tournament, a Bangladesh League. I've turned all of those down just to make sure that for the next 3 months, I'm literally just at home, trying to be a good dad and a good husband for my wife, and as a bit of support at home with the 2 boys running around. They're all grown up now. That's literally my plan for the next few months. There's another IPL coming in April and May. I'm hoping I'll be fit enough and good enough still at the time to get myself ready for that. And from there on, we'll see what happens with regards to South African cricket. There's been a communication channel opened up with Belchi, myself and Graham. And if everything falls into place by next year, March, April, May, I'm still in form, still fit. They still want me, which is, I think, the most important thing. By all means, for my country, for the boys, the Proteas, there's no doubt in my mind that I'll put my hand up and give it my final shot at that World Cup trophy. But we'll see what happens. Honestly, for now, it's one day at a time, as you said. trying to be a family man and see where we go from there.
Oh, buddy, you've told me everything I need to hear today. You've filled me with hope. The song itself is amazing, I know, but as a dad to a young daughter, my little girl is 6 months old, I know you've got the most magical journey ahead of you, my friend, and I hope that you do get to soak up every second of that. But thank you so much for spending a bit of time with us and for putting a massive smile on my face today.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the support.
Oh, man, we'd like to thank the fantastic AB de Villiers for taking the time out of his very busy schedule to chat to us about what sounds like the most incredible project to be a part of. But we want you to stay tuned as Garand Zoid now is going to be joining us in our midday slot to tell us a little bit more about this amazing collaboration. You can see how much this meant to me today. Hopefully you guys at home are just as inspired.